Hello and welcome to Chabot News for September 28th, 2023. My name is Evan Netto, and today we'll be covering President Biden's standing in solidarity with the United Auto Workers, the rising cost of gasoline, and a private island that's recently gone on sale in the Bay Area. India will fill us in on the latest and new movies hitting theaters, and finally, Christian will bring us the latest sports news, including the incredible story of an off-duty firefighter who saved a man's life. All that and more coming up in today's edition of Chabot News. President Joe Biden made history in Michigan on Tuesday, September 26th by walking in a picket line with striking auto workers in Detroit. Officials say he's the first sitting president ever to do this. And President Biden did it less than 24 hours before his biggest 2024 rival arrived for a speech in the battleground state. Laura Aguirre brings us more from the high-profile, high-stakes presidential picket line appearance.
It's a picket line show of solidarity called the first ever of its kind by a sitting president.
Wall Street didn't build the country, the middle class built the country. Unions built the middle class. You deserve what you've earned, and you've earned a hell of a lot more than you're getting paid now. Thank you very much.
President Joe Biden also working to slow dropping poll numbers as a government shutdown deadline looms in Washington. The White House is clear, however, on the scope of the president's visit.
We are not involved in negotiations. That is something for them to decide what is going to work for the parties that are involved.
At stake, the United Auto Workers' powerful backing for the 2024 presidential election. Former President Donald Trump heads to Detroit Wednesday to address current and former union members. Workers say they are focused on getting their fair share of record auto company profits.
Coming in 2010, we, of course, didn't have any pension after bankruptcy and everything. So I would really like to see that cost of living is tremendously high right now.
The U.S. economy is estimated to lose billions of dollars before a labor agreement is reached, and those costs are expected to roll downhill to customers.
They're paying more for labor. They're paying more for building the car. The price of the car goes up.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Once a reliable Democratic voting bloc, union members have gravitated towards GOP candidates in more recent elections, according to CNN polls and the AFL-CIO, the nation's largest labor federation. Elsewhere in labor news, lights, camera, action may soon return to Tinseltown. Leaders with the Writers Guild of America voted in favor of its members going back to work 1 minute after midnight, Wednesday, September 27th. John Lawrence reports.
It's almost time to start rolling the end credits for the long-running soap opera in Hollywood. Almost time.
I feel tentatively great. I mean, it's a tentative deal, so I'm feeling really good.
After 148 days of striking on the streets, leaders of the Writers Guild of America unanimously voted in favor of their members getting back to work Wednesday. The tentative contract with the major studios includes pay hikes, stronger benefits, protections against the studio's use of artificial intelligence, and guarantees for streaming compensation.
Even if this deal goes through, we still have to get the actors paid, because our words are meaningless unless we have our talented friends out there putting them on the screens.
But there still may be another chapter or plot twist in this drama. The WGA tentative agreement is, by definition, not yet set in stone, and the Screen Actors Guild is still on the picket line.
It's hard to say, oh, the strike is over. Well, the strike isn't over because we still have days to wait to get it rectified and to get it voted on by the WGA members. And then there's the question of our strike.
SAG-AFTRA leaders say they are, quote, committed to securing a fair contract.
We live and work in a collaborative community, and we'll have to give a little bit in these negotiations as well as receive. So, as long as it's better than it has been.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Economists say the Hollywood strike has already had a more than $5 billion effect on the overall U.S. economy. Turning now to the international stage. 5 Americans imprisoned in Iran for 5 years are on their way home as part of a prisoner release deal with Tehran. In return, 5 Iranians held in U.S. custody will be released back to officials in Tehran. is the culmination of a long negotiated agreement between the two countries. Here's Laura Aguirre with the latest.
5 Americans wrongfully detained in Iran for years took their first steps of freedom in Qatar Monday morning.
Our fellow citizens are free after enduring something that I think it would be difficult for any of us to imagine.
Siamak Namazi, Ahmad Shargi, Murad Tabaz, and 2 unidentified Americans were released as part of a wider deal between Iran and the U.S., one that includes unfreezing $6 billion in Iranian funds.
The regime doesn't get the money. They can request a withdrawal for humanitarian goods, agricultural products, medical supplies, food, and then we will run a process through which those goods are contracted for.
President Joe Biden celebrated the release in a statement, thanking the nations that assisted the U.S. in making the deal. His administration then announced new sanctions against Iran, designed to punish those responsible for holding Americans captive. For the families, the wait has been heart-wrenching. A lawyer for the Nizami family became emotional when recalling the moment he first heard from Siamak.
He gave me a call as soon as he came off the plane, and he said, "I'm finally free."
In a statement, Nizami said he was thankful from the bottom of his heart to those who were his voice when he couldn't speak for himself. The 5 Americans will reunite with loved ones in D.C. and be debriefed by U.S. officials.
It means that husbands and wives, fathers and children, grandparents can hug each other again.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
On Monday, September 25th, Iran's deputy foreign minister expressed his happiness that 5 Iranians held by the U.S. will return to Tehran as part of the deal. The U.S. and Iran do not have formal diplomatic ties, and relations plummeted under the Trump administration. When the U.S. withdrew from an Iran nuclear deal and pursued a maximum pressure approach to Tehran, in the years since, efforts to constrain Iran's growing nuclear program have been unsuccessful. Some Republican lawmakers, like Senator John Thune and Lindsey Graham, admonished the Biden administration over the detainees' release, each releasing statements saying that the deal will only encourage Tehran's regime to continue taking Americans for ransom in order to fund nuclear programs and terrorist activities. Prices at the pump historically drop after Labor Day and the end of the summer driving season. However, that's not the case this September, as prices have continued to rise across the country. John Lorenz reports.
Filling up the tank is hitting the wallet a little harder than usual.
I'm paying double what I used to pay.
Gasoline prices rose to $3.88 per gallon nationally on Monday, according to AAA. That's the highest they've reached thus far this year, largely due to oil prices pushing past $92 per barrel.
It's getting crazy. My car used to be $40 to fill up. Now it's $69.45. I'm over it.
Although the current national average is below the all-time record high of $5.02 in June 2022, they are 20 cents higher than they were at this time last year.
You know, everything is so expensive nowadays, so you go up 5 cents, you go up a penny, that's going to do some type of impact in your life.
Pump prices are now at least $4 or higher per gallon in 11 states, including Arizona, Colorado, and Oregon, according to AAA.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I never thought that it would ever get to this, but it is the reality of the situation right now.
Gas in the Golden State costs a mint. California commuters have seen them shoot up 49 cents over the past month.
Wow, I should go buy a lottery ticket. It's like $95 even. Yeah, on the dot. So, but yeah, I'm probably gonna need to win the lottery after like paying for this gas. So
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
We sent our reporters out onto campus to get a sense of how high gas prices are affecting Chabot College students.
I think gas prices are very expensive, and it's super hard to fill out the tank because of it's so much. It's too much expensive. I wish it was cheaper.
So gas prices are pretty bad. They're really high. The way I deal with it is just by commuting. I ride public transportation. And then I just work and just pay for it, you know.
Gas prices are, you know, kind of like outrageous. I drive a BMW, so, you know, I filled up my tank last week. I got to refill it again today. Yeah, it's kind of outrageous, kind of ridiculous. Part of it is because of the kind of car that I drive, but the gas prices are like, I think it's like $6 something a gallon now. So it's just kind of like, you know, odd or ridiculous. I don't know why it's like that.
Well, for me personally, I sometimes pay my mom's gas, which comes out to around like 40, 50 bucks. For me, I guess it's a little too much. It's pretty expensive for me as I like only work part-time.
It does get pricey. The way I deal with it, getting into Uber, getting into Lyft, utilizing my car in order to pay the bills. Gas prices itself, though, I get my gas at Costco, so it's a little bit cheaper. Get a membership at Costco, maybe that'll help with the gas prices.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told CNBC that she expects energy prices will, quote, stabilize soon. It remains to be seen just how soon this will happen. Now it's time for a look at the world of entertainment with our reporter, India Richardson.
Thanks, Evan. With Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, and their team of Expendables, Mercenaries back in theaters, Rick Damigella looks back at the story of the film franchise.
They are the world's greatest mercenaries.
The year was 2010, and a movie starring a squadron of action hero actors too long to list in a single story assaulted cinemas. The Expendables blew up the box office with a $274 million global haul.
And I pronounce you man a knife.
2 years later, more famous faces joined the team, propelling the Expendables 2 to an even more explosive $315 million victory.
What are you gonna do? Reload.
In 2014, even more Hollywood talent enlisted for the Expendables 3, but the mission, while successful, was a softer $215 million. The movie also marked the first PG-13 entry in the series.
We heard you.
This is gonna be fun.
Round and clear. Please make Expendables 4 rated R.
Nearly 10 years later, the Expendables are back, once again wielding an R rating, even making it part of the marketing, along with huge names, stunts, and explosions. Blown away in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
The fourth Expendables movie exploded onto screens last Friday, September 22nd. The filmmaker behind such movies as Once, Begin Again, and Sing Street is back with another story of music bringing people together. David Daniel has a look.
One more offense and you'll be behind bars. Flora, you're his mother. Find him something to do.
Eve Hewson stars in Flora and Son as a single mother struggling to connect with her boy.
Happy birthday.
What's that?
It's yours.
Don't want to play. Since when am I a guitarist?
I can't go on like this, living in a shoebox with a kid who hates me.
Things start to turn around when she takes up the guitar herself and tunes in to her son's own musical mindset.
Was that yours? How did you make that? It sounded epic.
Come on, girl. Let's get in trouble. Shake and not stir the James Bond from Dublin.
I thought it would be interesting to sort of take the musical form, but to try and sort of see if I could tell a kitchen sink family drama with songs in the same way, but get to a sort of a different, like a platonic love, as opposed to a, you know, romantic love.
Flora also connects with a guitar teacher played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
What's your problem?
I didn't know I had a problem.
You're teaching guitar online, love.
Filmmaker John Carney says Hewson got to the heart of a true Dublin character.
She's a Dubliner, and she gets the city, and she gets the characters that we all meet in Dublin. There's something weird and wonderful about Dubliners.
Playing the guitar, it's so sexy.
Okay.
Is that why you took it up?
Well, let's focus on you.
Are you coming on to me?
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If Flora and Son star Eve Hewson seems familiar, you may have seen her in Bridge of Spies or Bad Sisters. Or it could be because she's the daughter of Paul Hewson, aka U2's Bono. That's going to wrap it up for this week's look at entertainment news. I'm India Richardson. Now, back to you, Evan.
Thank you, India. In other entertainment news, Bye Bye Bye, it turns out, was a lie. Orlando's most, or second most, depending on who you ask, popular boy band, NSYNC, is back. The now middle-aged man band has released a 40-second tease of a brand new song. It's the first they've recorded together in 21 years. The song, Better Place, doesn't signify a new album, at least not yet. It's from the soundtrack to the upcoming Trolls Band Together movie. NSYNC member Justin Timberlake voices one of the characters in the film. Anxious fans can hear it at takeyoutoabetterplace.com. This comes 2 days after NSYNC made a surprise appearance together at the MTV Video Music Awards. They were there to present elated fan Taylor Swift with an award. Back here at home, anyone in the market for their own private island in the San Francisco Bay Area is in luck. Located in the Suisun Bay, Point Buckler Island went up for sale Monday, September 25th for $75 million. According to the listing agent, Marianne Bordonia, it's the only privately owned island in the Bay Area. Complete with a 400-foot deep dock and 2 helipads, owner John Sweeney used to hold corporate events on the island. Bordonia said Sweeney and his wife placed open truck containers on the island and filled them with lounge furniture, artificial grass, and original art made from recycled plastic from the Delta. The 50-acre property was once home to an established duck club and more recently has been used for private kiteboarding and foil boarding. Sweeney acquired the island in 2011 for a mere $150,000. Now it's time to catch up on this week's sports with our announcer, Christian Gonzalez.
Thanks, Evan. Michigan State University announced it's intending to fire its head football coach. Mel Tucker was suspended without pay earlier this month amid an investigation into sexual harassment allegations. With the university's notice, he now has 7 days to provide reasons why he should not be terminated. The university began investigating Tucker in December after a report in USA Today. The report said Tucker was accused of having non-consensual phone sex with a woman who counseled the football team about relationship violence. Tucker has said his relationship with this woman was mutual. He denies any wrongdoing. Tucker is a longtime college and professional football coach. He started at Michigan State in 2020. A man's life was saved by an off-duty firefighter at the New England Patriots game on Sunday, September 17th.
We just happened to be in the right spot at the right time.
The real action at Gillette on Sunday was off the field and in the stands. These two fans now turned heroes. About 10 minutes before the start of the game, police started running in the atrium near the new lighthouse. That's when off-duty Needham firefighter Mark McCullough saw a man on the ground and ran to help.
Seeing them kind of in that panic mode kind of puts us a little bit at edge, so we kind of looked over and said, oh, they need a little bit of help too, so we kind of jumped in and helped them.
He was joined by this man, a total stranger, and both started doing CPR, amazingly saving that man's life.
After about a minute of CPR, the gentleman started breathing on his own.
It turned out the other man was another off-duty firefighter.
We did not know each other until last night. So now I guess it's a friendship, I guess.
This new friendship born from a brotherhood of like-minded people who refuse to call themselves heroes even when they are.
No, can't do it. Well, that's what we do. This is our job. You know, we're here to help out and help the public and help people. And whether we're off duty or on duty, that's what we like to do. We have to do it. So I'm glad we were there.
In the end, everyone was okay except for the Patriots, who ended up losing to the Miami Dolphins 24-17. That's all for this week's look at sports. I'm Christian Gonzalez. Now back to you, Evan.
Thank you, Christian. And for our final story today, recently people celebrated one of the world's favorite foods. September 20th was National Pepperoni Pizza Day, according to the national calendar. Pepperoni is the most popular type of pizza ever created. It is also believed that pepperoni pizza was invented in 1889 to honor the Queen of Italy, Margherita of Savoy. To celebrate, you can make it a pizza night with family or friends, maybe go out to a pizzeria, or make some at home. If you share your festivities on social media, remember to use the hashtag #PepperoniPizzaDay when posting. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.